Welcome to this platform. So in this video, we are going to answer Mathematics Paper 1 that the GCE wrote, that is 2025 paper. So this paper was written on 7th August 2025. So we are going to answer the whole paper and I encourage you to stay up to the end. And one more thing, if you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly do so that you do not miss out. If you're watching this from TikTok, you might have to, or you might want to watch the full video, otherwise part of it only is posted here. And also equally, if you're watching this from Facebook. Okay, so let us look at the questions. So the first question was simplify. The first question was simplify. Now, normally these questions, they come expand and simplify. So when you are given to simplify, in this case, you remove the brackets by expanding. So let us do so. So we are going to multiply, or let me just copy the question. We are going to have y minus 3 minus 3, then 2 minus y. So we expand. So multiply that, you are going to have 2y. Multiply that, you are going to have negative 6. Then that, you are going to have again negative 6. That, you are going to have negative 3 or positive 3. Why? Because negative and negative is positive. Then bring the like terms together. So you're going to have 2y plus 3y minus 6 minus 6. And this is going to be 5y minus 12. Okay, so that is the answer to this question. Then you put your answer here, 5y minus 12. Just that, 2 marks. Let us look at the second question. So evaluate. Now to evaluate this, as you can see, that is the fourth root of 16 and 81, then to the power 3. So what does it mean? So the fourth root of 16 is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that's 16. Then the fourth root of 81 is 3. Okay, then to the power 3. So this power distribute and you are going to have 2 to the power 3, 3 to the power 3. Then you are going to have what on top? That is 8 divide, that is 27. Okay, so the answer here is 8 divide 27. Question number 3, factorize completely. So factorize completely, if you are given in such a manner, you just factorize by grouping. So let me just copy this question. 2ab minus 3b plus 10a minus 15. So I can group these, pair these. Okay. So in the first bracket, what is common? B is common. What remains? 2 minus 3. In the second bracket, what is common? What is common is Z. So in the second part, what is common is Z. 3 or 5. So 5 is common. What remains here? 2a minus 3, because 5 go into 15 3 times. So that is minus 3. So as you can see, this is common, that is common, and they have to be the same. So if these are not the same, just know that there's a chance you've done the wrong thing. Okay, so let us bring what is common together. So what is common outside? That is b and 5. Then what is common inside is 2 minus 3. So that is, or this is the answer. So we put it there, b plus 5, then 2a minus 3. Okay, so we proceed to look at the fourth question. Solve the equation. So solving the equation, it means we are finding the values of x. So x squared minus 8 is equals to 0. So we can start by taking 8 the other side. 1 over 2 x squared, 8 is equals to, or is equals to 8. Now we need to get rid of this half in front, so we multiply it by its reciprocal. Also on the other side we multiply. Then we are remaining with x squared is equals to 16. So square root, x is equals to, you know that the square root of a number is plus or minus 4. So x is equals to 4, x is equals to negative 4. So I can say 4 or negative 4. So that answers this question. Okay, so question 5, use the set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. How do we describe the shaded region? So here, what is not shaded is B and C. So it means excluding these, and the notation is complement. So it's A intersection B union C complement. That is for this set. All right. We proceed to question 6. Now, question 6, a company with 600 or 6,000 shares declared a dividend of 56,000. What amount will Betty receive for her 36 shares? So the first thing, we need to find the amount per share. So to find the amount per share, we are going to say the dividend, which is 56,000, divide, that is the number of shares. So 6,000 shares. So this and that cancels. So what are we going to have? That is 56 divide, what is 56 divide 6? We should be able to find a 9.33, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, what are you able to find? That is 56 divide 3. By the way, this is paper 1, so no use of calculator. So here, you should be able to find 9.33. Okay, that is the cost or amount per share. Then now, looking at Betty's share is 36, so multiply 36, and should be able to give us, that is the 336. Okay, the question is, what amount will Betty receive for 36 shares? So 336 kwacha, if I'm not mistaken. So kindly confirm this as you go through. Then question 7, the formula for the nth term of the arithmetic progression. So the nth term, or we can say the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic progression is 2n minus 3. Find the first term. So to find the first term, it means n is equals to 1. So 2, 1 minus 3. And this gives us negative 1. So don't forget to put your answer there. So the first term is negative 1. That is the first term. Okay, then the second question, this is for A. The second question, which is B, common difference if the sum of the first 8 term is 48. So, common difference and the sum, what is the relationship that is there? So you should be able to find, or in order to find the sum of the nth term in the AP of AP, you say nth term, or sum of nth term is equals to n over 2, then 2a plus n minus 1, then multiply d. So you're going to replace n is 8. You're saying first 8 term, so 8 divide 2. Then here 2, the first term is what? The first term is negative 1. We found it. Then plus 8 minus, or wherever there's 8, wherever there's n, we put 8. Then d. So what are we going to have? Here, the sum is given is 48. So 48 is equals to, this is just the same as 4. Inside here is negative 2. Then here, that is the plus 8 minus 1 multiply d. So it will be 7d. Okay. Then, of course, I can open brackets and say 48 is equals to, not even open bracket, I can divide here to remove this 4. So, what is going to remain? So, this remain 12 is equals to negative 2 plus 7d. So please, let me just shift to the other side. So we're going to have negative 2 plus 7d is equals to 12. 7d is equals to 12 plus 2. 7d is equals to 14. So therefore, we are going to find our d to be 2. So d is 2. Okay. So that is how you work this one out. Then let us go to question 8. If A is equals to that one, that is a matrix, find A transpose. So to find A transpose, you just, the row becomes the column becomes the row. So this is going to be our first column. So it's going to be negative 1, 2. So we are finding A transpose. Then this is going to be our second one, 3, 0. Third one, 1, 4. So this is the A transpose. Given that the multiple of these, or these matrices, if you multiply them, this and that, it gives you this, find the value of x. So what do you do? So you're just going to target, you know that matrices you multiply row by column, so row, column, add, then equal to that first part. So now here we are just going to target the one that has x and multiply with that, add, then equals to 7. So we're going to say x multiplied by 3 plus negative 2 multiply 1, then equal to 7. So I have 3x minus 2 equal to 7. So I have 3x is equals to 7 plus 2. 3x is equals to 9. Divide 3, divide 3. And x therefore is going to give us a 3. So our x is equals to 3. What did we find as a matrix on top there? It's negative 1, 2. Don't forget to put your answer here. 3, 0, 1, 4. So that is the answer to this part. Let us go to question 9. The probability that Gift will be late for a job interview or will not be late for a job interview is 0.05. What is the probability that he will be late for interview? So probability of such questions, the way you look at them, probability of will and not. So probability of Gift being late, okay, let me say not. Let me start with late for interview plus probability of not late should equal to 1. Probability is always equal to 1. So since we are given the probability of Gift will not be late, we can say 0.05 plus probability that he will be, or probability of late, is equals to 1. So probability of late is equals to 1 minus 0.05. And this is going to give us 0.95. So the first question here is 0.95. Confirm. That is the A. Now for B, solve the equation. 2x minus 1 is equal, minus 4 is equals to 0. So here, solving such equation, normally you need to express the same bases. So you take this one the other side. So you're going to have 2x minus 1 is equals to 4. Express this 4 to base 2. So you're going to have this x minus 1 is equals to 2 to the power 2. So the bases are the same, which means all the powers are the same. So x minus 1 is equals to 2. X is equals to 2 plus 1. Therefore, x is equals to 3. So x is equals to 3. Okay. I guess there's no problem up to this point. That is the answer for question 9. All right. Let us go to question 10. Given that P is equals to that one. So, given that set P numbers starting from 10 to 20. So given that P is such that 10 less or equal to X less or equal to 20, X is the prime number. So within that set, we are looking at prime numbers from 10 to 20. List the set P. So to list the set P, we are going to have the prime number. Now, prime numbers is just a number that is divisible by 1 and itself. Now, within that range from 10 to 20, so you have 1, 11. 11 is just divisible by 1 and itself. We have 13. 13 is 1 and itself. Then we have 17. Then we have 19. Okay, so this is the set that we are looking for. So we can list it here. So set P is equals to, we have 11, 13, 17, 19. Okay. Then let us look at this question. The diagram below shows a sector P or Q. Arc PQ subtend an angle 45 degrees at a center. Given that POQ or the area of POQ is 77, calculate the radius. So this is called a sector. So we know, or we need to know the area of a sector. So what is the formula? So area of a sector is equals to theta over 360 degree multiplied by pi r square. So the area is given 77 equal to theta, the angle given 45 degree, divide 360 degree, multiply by pi, you take it to be 22 over 7 multiplied by radius square. So we are finding radius. So your strategy should be to reduce these numbers to the lowest form. Otherwise, if you're going to multiply to find the big numbers, it will be very difficult for you to work with them. So how do you reduce? So for me, I can start by cancelling out. 45 can go into 360. You know that 360 is 90, 90, 90, 90. So this goes 2, 2, 2. So 45 into 45 is 1. 45 into 360 is 8. So that you should know. Then I can reduce 8 and this 22. So 2 can go there 11 times. 2 can go there 4 times. So what am I remaining with this side? I'm remaining with 77 is equals to 1 over 4 multiplied by 11 over 7 r square. So now I can cross multiply at this point, and I'm going to have, I can start with r square is equals to, all these at the bottom will multiply with 77. So 77 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 7. Now to get rid of, to find r, I can divide 11. I can divide 11. So r square is equals to 11 into 77 is 7. So it's equals to 7 times 4 times 7. So r square is equals to 7 times 7 is 49. 49 times 4 is 196. So 196. So square root of 196, r therefore is equals to 14 centimeter. So the answer here is 14 centimeter. Confirm that is the answer. So please, for you not to struggle with this, you need to find a way of working out things. Especially should cultivate the idea of simplifying. If there's a part that is so challenging with learners when it comes to mathematics paper 1 is this part for mensuration and also earth geometry. But the only thing or the key behind is just simplifying the numbers. Don't multiply to complicate things. Otherwise, we can proceed to look at the next question, which is earth geometry. That is question 11. So the question reads, the diagram shows the position of 3 towns A, B, and C on the earth surface. What is the time difference between B and C? So the time difference. So how do you find the time difference? So for the time difference, you know that time is calculated along the longitude. So time difference between B and C, you need to find their difference in longitude. This one is sitting at 40 degree west. This one at 65 degree west. You know that east and west add. So their difference is their difference is 40 plus 65, and this gives us what? What does it give us? This gives us 105. So 105. Now, after you found the difference, to find the time difference or time difference is just simply the the difference in their longitude. I guess you've gotten that. Time difference is just converting this difference in their longitude into hours. So it's just the same as the difference in longitude divide 15, because we know that 1 hour is equals to 15 degrees. So that's the conversion that we use. So 105 divide 15 is going to give us 7 hours. So that is the difference in and by the way, we should have used this space that is here. So that is question A. We have 40 plus 65, which is equals to 105. Then now time difference, we just say difference in longitude, and difference in longitude is theta. So you can say theta over 15 degree. So that is going to give us 105 divide 15. That is 7 hours. So the time difference is 7 hours, and we can put it there, 7 hours. So I urge you to put the answer immediately you find it, because you might forget. After calculating, you might leave this place without recording your answer. Now, coming to the second question, a plane flying due east A to B. So flying due east A to B. Okay, they are saying at 900 knots. So that is speed. So speed is that is for B, please. Speed is 900 knots. Okay, now when the speed is knots, just know that the distance was in nautical mile, and of course time was in hours. Divided gives us knots. Take 7 hours. Find the difference in latitude between A and B. Find the difference in latitude between A and B. So in other words, different in latitude, we are finding theta. Okay, so what do you do? So the first thing first, we are going to find the distance. So distance is equals to, or speed is equals to distance over time. Okay, so what is our speed? Our speed is 900 knots equal to, what is our distance? We do not have it. What is our time? Time is 7. So distance is just the same as 900 multiply 7. So 900 multiply 7, what is it giving us? 0. This is 63. So 6,300. 6,300 nautical mile. Now that we have the distance, we can find the theta by simply using distance is equals to 60 theta. So we put the distance 63,000 nautical mile is equals to 60 theta. So divide 60, divide 60. So theta therefore is equals to this and that. So what are you finding when you divide this? So you should be able to find 105 degree. Confirm. So that is how you answer this question. So 105 degree. And I guess you followed the procedure. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so let us look at question 12 now. So for question 12, question A reads, a machine that loads mini meal into 25 bags has a tolerance of 0.5%. Find the highest acceptable mass of any bag loaded by the machine. So here, in other words, we are finding the upper bound or the maximum value. So we are given tolerance in percentage. So this is A. So we are saying 0.5 percentage, you know that is out of 100. And now we are going to multiply. We are going to multiply with the mass. Okay? We are going to multiply with the mass. What are we going to have? This is the 25. So here, 25 is 4. 25 is 1. So we are going to have, in other words, that is on top it will be 0.5, bottom it will be 4. Divide this, it will give you 0.125 if I'm not mistaken. Then now, this that you found is the one that we are going to add now. So we're going to say 25 plus 0.125, and we are going to have the maximum value to be 25.15. Okay, so that is what we are going to find. So could there be another way that you can work out this one? So be able also to suggest the way you can work out this one if at all there's another way. Then for question B, we are told if 12.5 liters of water was poured out of a container containing what? 20. So here is a container containing 20. Then you lose 12.5, which means you remain with 7.5. Find the relative area of the volume of water that remained. So what remained is 0.5 liters. That is what remained. So find the find the relative area. Now, relative error, you know that is the absolute error divided true value. So let us find the absolute error. Now, the absolute error, the number here has one decimal place, so which means the absolute error we can say is equals to n over 2, which is 0.1 if it has one decimal place, divided 2, which gives us 0.05. So the absolute error is 0.05 on top right there. Then what about the true value is 7.5. Now we can reduce this one. Let us make it into whole numbers to multiply it here by 100 to get rid of 1, 2, to get rid of the zeros. Also at the bottom, you multiply by 100, we are going to have 5 divide this multiply 100 is 750. So we are going to have 5 over 750, which is just the same as 1 over 150. So this is the relative error. If you want, you can leave it in decimal places. Have we recorded the answers for the first one? No. So it's very, very important that you do record. So 25, the first one is 25.125. The second one is 1 over 150. All right, let us go to question number 13. So question 13 here, it says, in the following diagram, A, B, C, D, and E are points on the circumference of the circle, center O. Angle ADB is equals to 18 degrees. You can see it visibly there. Angle EAD is equals to 31. You can see it there. BC is equals to CD. So which means this is an isosceles triangle. So take note. Find the angle EOD. EOD. So where is EOD? EOD. So which means we are talking about this angle. Now, you need to know about the properties of the angles. This that you are seeing here, this is the chord, and of course we have the segment here. Now, originating from the same one, we have this part which forms 31, and we have this part that comes at the center. The fact that they are originating from the same part here, the angle at the center is twice this one. So that is one property that you are going to apply. So therefore, to find what is at the center, we are just simply going to say 31 multiplied by 2. And of course, this one is angle at the center is twice angle at the circumference. So what is that? It's going to give us 62. So this angle is 62 degree. So this one is 62 degree. Then ADC. Let us see ADC. ADC. So we are talking about the whole of this part. Part of it is already 18. So what do we do? Here we are going to think of this triangle here at the bottom is an isosceles triangle. And if we can find this angle, we can also find these two because these are base angles. They are equal. So what do we do? So for this one, you know that, again, another thing is that this is passing at the center. And you know that angles in a semicircle are 90 degree. So this angle is 90 degree. So if this angle is 90 degree, so you're going to say 180. Let me just say here, 180 minus 90 divide 2. 180, the whole of this triangle, then minus 90. These angles are equal, so I'm sharing them. So divide 2, that is these angles. So 180 minus 90 is 90. Divide 2 is 45 degrees. So which means this is 45 degree, and also that is 45 degree. Now you know that to have the whole of this angle, you need to add 18 and 45. So we are going to say plus 18, and this gives us 63 degree. Okay. I guess it gives us 63 degree. So 45, just to confirm, 18. So this is the, this is 13, 3, 1, 13. Okay, 63. Then the last question, what are we finding? So for the last question, EXD. EXD. So write this angle. Now, one thing you should understand here about this angle is that we have a triangle here. Do we know this angle? Yes, we know it. This is the twice angle, so this is 62. We know already. Then we have this small triangle here. I guess you are able to see it. So that small triangle that you are able to see, having the angle of 18 degree and having the angle of what? Having the angle of 62 degree. Then we can find this other angle here. We can find this one. If we can find this angle that we are targeting, we can also find that one because we are going to have a straight line. We're going to have a straight line. Okay, so this is where X is. This is where E is. This is where D is. So this angle, if we can find this angle right here, okay, which means we can also calculate the other one. So that is our target. So now what are we going to do? So there we are going to say, that is for C question, please. We are going to say, we are going to add 62 plus 18, then plus that part we do not know, X is equals to 180. 18 plus 62, that is 80. Okay, 80 plus, so that is 80 plus X equal to 180. So you're going to say 180 minus 80 gives us 100. So this angle that you're seeing here is 100. Now, if this angle is 100, out of 180, this is 8 degree. So therefore, we are going to say 180 minus 100 is equals to 80 degree. Therefore, this angle is 80 degree. Then this mid angle, what did we find? I bet we found 63 degree. I guess we are together up to this point. Okay. Let us proceed to look at this one now, question 14. In the diagram, AB is equals to 8. As you can see, AB is right here, 8. AD is equals to 10, as you can see, is right here. DC, just from here up to there, is 12. Then angle, this is 90 degree. That's what it means. Find the value of tan AC, ACB. So tan ACB. Now let me take you back a bit to what we call SOHCAHTOA. Okay, when you are dealing with this part. So what about SOHCAHTOA? So the first part is sine, cosine, tan. Now, since we are dealing with the tan, what does it mean? So tan is equals to tan theta is equals to adjacent over opposite. So adjacent A for adjacent. Now, since we are told this angle, this is not a right angle triangle, so we cannot deal with this triangle. So we are going to deal with the whole triangle because that's what makes it a right angle triangle. So which means the opposite is this one, 8. Now, the adjacent is this part. Then the hypotenuse, the other side. So now, what we need, since we are using the whole triangle, we need to find the whole distance up to there. So we need this part that is missing so that we can have the whole that. So that's the first part that we are going to do. So the first part, we are going to find this part. And what are we going to do? We are going to use just this part given. This is the right angle triangle also. So that is the one that we are going to use using Pythagoras theorem. So we are going to say, which part are we finding? BD. So we are going to say BD square is equals to, the longest side is AD. AD square minus, that is the AB square. So BD square is equals to, what is our AD? Is 10 square minus, what is our AB? Is 8 square. So you're going to have 100 minus 64. That is the 36. So BD square, square root. And we are going to have BD is equals to what? 6 centimeter. So this is 6 centimeter. Now, since we want to use the whole bit, we are going to have 6 plus 12. That is 18. Is it 18? Yes. So that is what we are going to have. Now that we have the thing, now we can say tan ACB. Is it FCB? Yes. Is equals to adjacent over, opposite. Is it adjacent? TOA. That is SOHCAHTOA. So opposite over adjacent, please. Opposite over adjacent. Now what is the opposite? The opposite is AB, so over BC. So we are going to replace 8 divide 18, which can reduce to 4 over 9. Simply dividing to 4, dividing to 9. So this here is the answer. Is this the first question? Yeah, the first question. So this is going to be 4 over 9. Okay, we are progressing. Then let us look at B question. This is coordinate geometry. Okay, now in the diagram, AB is perpendicular to CD. So the keyword is perpendicular. Now what you should come to your mind is that two perpendicular lines, when you multiply their gradient, should give you -1. First thing. So what is the question? Find the equation of the line AB. So we have this line and this line. So this point here is 0,6. This point here is 0,4. This one, please, is 6,0, 6,0. Okay, then this point where this one is passing through is 0,1. Okay, very important. So if you can find the gradient of this, we can use it when you multiply to find we can find the gradient of this. So what does it mean here? So we are going to start by finding, so that is it for B. So let us find the gradient for line CD. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What are the points? We can use this one as x1, y1, x2, y2. So we are going to have 4 minus 0 divide 0 minus 6. So this is going to give us 4 over negative 6, which reduces to 2 negative 3. This is the gradient for CD. Now, since that they are perpendicular to each other, we need to find the gradient of AB. Okay, so gradient 1 multiplied by gradient 2 is equals to negative 1. So what is gradient 1? We are going to assume that is gradient 1. So 2 over 3 negative is equal, or multiplied by gradient 2 is equals to negative 1. So here you cross multiply, you're going to have 2. You're going to have negative 2m, 2 is equals to negative 3. Divide negative 2, divide negative 2. So gradient 2 is equals to 3 over 2. Just a reciprocal of the other, then the sign changes. So this is the gradient. Now that we have the gradient, we can find the equation. This part is passing through the point that. So I can say y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. So this point, this is x1, that is y1. So y minus 1 is equals to 3 over 2 x minus 0. So we cross multiply, this multiplies that, this multiplies that. So 2 y minus 1 then equal to 3 x minus 0. So we have 2y minus 2 equal to 3x. So what do you do? We need to leave it in the form y is equals to mx plus c. So we take everything the other side. So 2y is equals to 3x plus 2. So divide 2, divide 2, divide 2. And we are going to have y is equals to 3 over 2x plus 1. I guess I've not made a mistake at any point. Okay, I guess I've not made a mistake. Mistakes can be made, so please kindly check through as you go